And now, live on the fabulous interweb,
PTR Radio.
This is PTR Radio with Colin.
When I cut grass, I listen to the Colin show. I mean, just because when I cut grass, I know what they're saying, but plus I'm not missing that much.
PTR Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. We are back. Sorry we missed last week. Mike is getting prepared for the show.
Anti-coronavirus ski masks.
Yes. It's going to become a new fashion trend, I think, really. It's going to take off. We're going to have coronavirus wear.
This is going to be more effective than those stupid masks that barely fit because nothing gets through this.
Yeah, that's true. I went to the doctor when I went to the doctor for the flu that I had, and it was confirmed it was the flu. It was. She said, those, because they give you the mask at reception when you check in. And they said, oh, you're coughing. You have to take one of these. So I put it on. I get in. Of course, you wait forever in the lobby. Then they take you to a smaller room, and then you wait forever there. And then the doctor comes in, and she goes, oh, yeah, those masks are only good for 20 minutes. Have you ever talked to the people on TV about this? Because, yeah. You just had to try vaping through it, Mike.
I did. That did not work well.
I bet. Oh. Got a hairball now.
Okay.
So, yeah, folks, welcome to PTR Radio. Trust me, we will not be talking about the health situation in America all night long, but we do have to talk about it to some degree because it's about the only thing on any news site if you go around and look. Hell, I had to spend overtime this weekend making sure that it was on even more sites. So, it is an important topic that we do have to discuss. Yeah. But before we do that, we've got some other things that we need to talk about. And, Mike, this first one, I think, is specifically in your wheelhouse. Our old friends at PETA. We didn't talk about this last time, I don't think. Nope, PETA. They have said that it is offensive to call your animal pets.
All right, so listen. I have long said, I don't think it's offensive. But when someone refers to their dog as a pet or their cat as a pet, it's one of two things. Either they are just being extremely literal or they look at the animal as a possession, not as a member of the family. I don't find it offensive, but this... Isn't PETA the one that said they were trying to get us to change some very common phrases?
Yeah, like don't beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone.
More than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, those types of things. See, now, I don't have a problem with the term pet because most of the time it's used in plural around here. Like, our pets are a-holes, or usually I tell my wife, hey, usually it's more, your dog did this, So, I mean, I don't see it because underlying there's affection there, okay? So it is definitely, it's not, ooh, those people have pets, we're not going over there. It's not like that. So I don't see a problem with pet, although most of the time I just, dog, cat, what up, ba, 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 because that's what they are. But I don't see a problem with pet. I do, and I know, Mike, this is probably going to strike a chord. There is a term that annoys me that some pet owners use, and it's not that it makes me mad. It's just annoying, and it's
fur baby
and fur kid. Yeah. Yeah, and I will say this, and this is nothing against you or Mrs. 8-Man, but it is typically people who don't have real kids.
Fair enough.
You know, and I don't know why. Maybe just as a person with real kids, it's a little bit weird.
So here's my general take on it is, and we'll call them the fur kids, as opposed to the pets. Mm-hmm. However, I usually preface that when talking to people and saying, by my use of this term, no way implies that these animals have more rights than your children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I think it's the real people, and like I said, you and Mrs. 8-Man don't annoy me with it because, you know, you're, not to my knowledge, putting a dog in a purse and carrying it everywhere with you.
No.
Okay.
None of our dogs would fit in a purse. We do have a stroller.
You know, do you take them for strolls?
Well, the stroller basically was used when,
if not medically necessary.
It came about because one of our dogs had trouble walking.
Mm-hmm.
And it then became useful if we were going somewhere that was kind of pet friendly, but we didn't want to just let the dog walk around on the ground. So you put them in the stroller.
Okay.
So that it's a little easier to contain them and keep them safe.
Okay, I get that.
Thing.
I get that.
Not because we're treating them like babies.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, that I can understand. That I can get behind. You know? But yeah, it's these people that take their pets to places that aren't pet friendly and then demand that they be treated the same as
the grocery store.
Yes. You know, or the gas station or work or wherever, you know, where pets generally are frowned upon.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mama Blair.
They're called fur challenged babies.
Anyway, I do want to take my kids. See, now you got me all twisted up in the head. I do want to take the dogs to Starbucks to get them a puppuccino.
Well, you just take them to the drive-thru, though, is what you would probably do, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fine. It's like
right.
the Dairy Queen around
here.
Who be? I don't know. But, you know, it's...
Welcome to the show, though.
No, yeah, welcome. You'll give us a few shows. You'll get to like us.
Nate, now are you? You're not Red Rhino, are you? Did we ever get in touch with Red Rhino about the Boxo randomness for 2019?
Not yet.
Probably
no.
not.
We've had.
Might as well just wait and see if Red Rhino wins again.
So, you know, no, yeah, and it's those people that like have a closet full of clothes for their you know, puppies. I'm talking like a walk-in closet full of clothes.
Well, yeah,
you know,
I know people like that. Like, look, our one Yorkie Willie, he's 15 now, and look, in the winter, I'm sorry, he wears a sweater all the time. Yeah. Why? Because he's old and he gets cold.
I know. My dogs are 12, 13, two 12-year-olds, a 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old. All right? They old. They hated their sweaters when they were younger, but they love them now. So, in fact, the Beagle will bite you if you take it off her now. So, you know, she's an old lady. She want her warm sweater. And now she gets pissed if I started letting her in the office now when I'm working down here. Oh, she pissed when she's not in the office. She really likes that. And for once, I think she's grown out of her troublesome phase for the most part. So, you know, just lays down right in front of my desk and is all happy as can be.
Okay. So you're not Red Rhino, but no, we ain't giving away a free nothing.
We do the show for free. That's what you get. every time we feel like going on with a semi-indeterminate schedule. But yeah, no, PETA says the founder Ingrid Newkirk, 70, told the British news outlet Metro that the term pet is derogatory and reduces animals from being living, breathing organisms to inanimate objects. You know, it wasn't that long ago, 50s and 60s, where, pet was used as an affectionate term for one's spouse. You know? Instead, she's encouraging people to use the phrase animal companions. That just sounds dirty. When referring to dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. Newkirk says people should refer to themselves as guardians instead of owners.
I actually, that particular part,
Well, it might change the mindset of some bad,
Yeah. The whole pets have no legal
pets are
existence
property.
other than property, and it's really, sometimes it's really hard to prosecute for something that is evil because legally they're just property.
See, now I don't disagree with this sentence. A dog is a feeling, whole individual with emotions and interests, not something you have. Trust me, the dog has you. It's not the other way around. You don't have the dog. And if it's a cat, you just a litter box emptying food and water dish full and servant. That's it. Cat could care less about you. They just want somebody to perform those roles.
Yeah. So I think I'm really having a hard time getting behind this because some of this language, I do agree with 100%. However, it is like a moral imperative of mine that I never agree with anything PETA says because I can't stand 99% of their bullshit.
Well, we don't like 99% of this suggestion.
Let me bring it back around. Here's another percent you're not going to like. She says the term is condescending. She says the term pet is condescending, arguing that calling an animal pet is like calling a woman sweetie or honey. Now, Mike...
All right, sugar.
Yeah. Cool thing, sweet tits. All right. Those are... that's an offensive term.
What's up, muffin?
Yeah. Sweetie and honey are not offensive to most women. So...
Nate, we're not reading half of your stuff because that would then probably get us kicked off of a lot of our podcast outlets. But I am putting them up there on screen if you're watching.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sorry, my wife enjoys when I call her honey or sweetie or whatever. Those are terms of endearment, and they have been for decades.
For that matter, sometimes pet.
Yeah.
Is the term of endearment.
Yeah, I think I said that back in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, big deal.
It still is.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just brought up,
come here, better. My little pet.
Anyway, I just brought up the dictionary just to make sure. Noun, any domesticated or tamed animal that is kept as a companion and cared for affectionately.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like, do you not want it? Is someone now going to say that, when we're watching the Olympics, we shouldn't call people doing the triple jump? You shouldn't say jump. You
should say,
it's bad for some reason. Say, no, you can't take random words from the dictionary.
You are assuming that we're going to get to watch the Olympics.
Yeah, you're assuming we're going to have the Olympics.
Yes, that's a whole other.
Yeah, because there's a big problem with the Olympics, and we might as well get into this right now. The Olympics could be canceled. I mean, they very well could be canceled. And the reason why is not what you think. All right? Everybody thinks, hey, it's because they're afraid there's a health crisis going on. It's based out of Asia, or it started in Asia, and they don't want the athletes to get sick or to bring it to their home countries back. No, that's not the answer at all. Answer is beds are made of cardboard. And there's a lot of humping that goes on at the Olympics. And bed's going to break. And I'm not kidding. I wish I was. But the U.S. Sun is reporting the manufacturer of Tokyo's 2020 beds for an Olympic Village has advised Randy athletes against having threesomes, saying that the beds will support the sexual activity of a strict 2-person limit.
All right. Let me just clarify a couple of things here. First of all, these beds are made of cardboard.
Mm-hmm. They look like moving boxes.
Yes, I would like to ask if by cardboard, do they mean like medium density fiberboard, which essentially is like pressed cardboard?
Well,
because either way, I am curious about the moisture problem when having all of this randy sex. Because,
well,
you ever seen a wet cardboard box?
Well, and there's a foam mattress on top of it. So how is that going to help? So let's see here. Let me bring this up for you real quick. So
as far as I know, cardboard in Japan is still cardboard.
Well, yes, cardboard in Japan is still technically cardboard. You are correct on that.
Okay.
Let me do this. So, damn it. Oh, there we go. So that is the cardboard in question. So if you look right here, you can basically see. I mean, this is cardboard. You know?
Yeah, that point right there,
like a box.
The upper right-hand corner of it, you could definitely see the little seam just where it was folded over.
Yeah, I mean, we know that corner of the world is good at origami. So you know, making a cardboard box into a bed should be easy.
I'm just thinking about some of the events with larger people.
Yeah, is the sumo wrestling still in the
no,
Olympics? Remember, this is the Winter Olympics.
No,
isn't this winter? No, it is Summer Olympics.
Yeah, Summer
right.
Olympics. But like some of the lifters, weightlifters.
Yes.
I mean, some of those
track and
higher
field, like shot put,
discus, heavyweight boxers,
wrestlers,
Greco-Roman
wrestling.
Well, to give you an idea, there's 5 new sports that have been added just for Tokyo 2020: baseball and softball, karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. Because they wanted to draw in some of the, yeah.
6'4" and 370, Nate. I get it. I'm with you. I am 6 foot 215, and I am not.
Yes, and
I have no interest at all.
6'3".
No interest at all of being sleeping anywhere on a cardboard bed, let alone having sex on a cardboard bed.
Okay, so here's
the one good thing. Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna squeak.
No, it's not. It's just gonna crumple. So here's a complete list of the games. In aquatics: artistic swimming, diving, swimming, water polo, and then we go to archery, athletics, badminton. In baseball, we have baseball, softball. Then we have basketball, 3-on-3 basketball, boxing, canoeing, slalom, sprint, cycling, BMX freestyle, BMX racing, mountain biking, road cycling, track cycling, equestrian, including dressage, eventing, jumping. Then we have fencing, field hockey, football, golf, gymnastics, artistic, rhythmic, trampoline, handball, judo, karate. Oh, which they've got split up to kata and kumite. Modern pentathlon, rowing, rugby sevens. Now, rugby players are big. Sailing, shooting, skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, table tennis, taekwondo. Oh, is Forrest going to play that? Because we could win this year. Taekwondo, tennis, triathlon, volleyball, and beach volleyball, weightlifting, wrestling, freestyle, and Greco-Roman wrestling. So that's what we got. Now, I don't think the wrestlers, the weightlifters, or the...
there's the Rio Olympics, the heaviest athlete was 374 pounds. So they better give him extra cardboard.
I guess. Please.
Well, wait a second. They're saying that their beds are rated for twosomes.
Yes, for twosomes, but not threesomes.
So-
Don't have threesomes. Yes. They said our cardboard's so good, can have twosome sex. But no threesome.
So, okay, so here's the other question.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay.
Oh, see,
I don't know.
in Pyeongchang, they were offered a generous double bed for each person staying, as well as 110,000 condoms. The
Okay.
2016 games in Rio sent Tinder matches rocketing up by 129% for the village area.
Listen, I cannot not go into this story now about the other reason why the Olympics may be canceled, of course, being coronavirus, because the senior member of the International Olympic Committee told the Associated Press a total cancellation is on the table.
Yeah.
Senior official Dick Pound.
His parents hated him. Hated him. What is his middle name? Taken? Takena?
Don't care.
Maybe.
But he did say, as of right now, the plan is to have the games in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Because
We all know how that could change.
They poured so much money into it. That's the thing.
And
Cities compete to host the games, and they just go into debt. I was so happy when Chicago didn't win. You know? Because every city that hosts the games, be it winter or summer, it doesn't matter. They throw hundreds of millions of dollars into construction, okay, and revamping things and these huge event centers and everything. They never get the money back from tourism because that's what they say they're going to get it back from. They never get the money back from revenue from ads or anything like that. They never get anything back, and they're left with these giant eyesores. If you Google, like, past Olympic villages, they look like horror scenes. And the only
I'm pretty
reason
sure they shot Chernobyl in one of the miniseries that was on HBO. I'm pretty sure that was
I
shot
wouldn't doubt
in
it at all.
Retired Olympic Village.
I wouldn't doubt it at all. I think the only one that has really stood the test of time is Salt Lake.
Well, Lake Placid.
Yeah, okay.
Because, I mean, Lake Placid still, I don't know if all of it was kept up, but I know the hockey rink and the surrounding areas have been, because they still host multiple tournaments every year.
And I think the Highlight Stadium in L.A., because they hosted it one year, that's still being used. Or one of the big stadiums they now do highlight stuff in.
The L.A. Coliseum was home to, I think, the Oakland Raiders for a while.
Yeah.
Or the L.A. Raiders.
But, I mean, most of them, especially in these other countries.
You look at the Bird's Nest in Pyongyang?
Yeah.
Or was that Seoul? That thing is like an eyesore now because...
Yeah, but they're going to reuse it now. Because they're getting the Winter Olympics, and they're going to use the same buildings.
Okay.
Now, so going back last several Olympics here. So the Vancouver Winter Olympics ended up making money. The 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics did make money.
Can we define make money?
So for the country, comparing what money put in and what came out, officially they came out with a profit.
Okay. So even if it's just $1.
Yes.
Okay.
If it comes off the dollar, that's great. The London Summer Olympics officially broke even, according to Wikipedia. But they didn't end up with eyesores because they used a bunch of temporary buildings in places that were already set up to do that. And they just knocked everything back down again, and they're okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about Tokyo, what they're doing. But.
I have to laugh at the way Mom and Blair abbreviated here. Maybe if they make the O Village, apparently, double entendre of the conversation we just had about Tinder and condoms and everybody making O face in the O Village.
The Sochi Winter Olympics were supposed to have made $53 million. But considering that those numbers come from the Russians, who knows?
Yeah.
The Rio Olympics officially lost $2 billion.
Yeah.
Well, and everything had to be built from scratch.
Rio cost $13 billion.
Yes. It cost them $13 billion. They made $11.6 billion back, so they're $2 billion in the red. Apparently,
you know why? Because their mascot sucked.
What, a lady that went like this?
And the movie didn't do them any favors.
No.
And the Winter Olympics 2018 ended up at $55 million in the green.
Well, they gave what's his name pink eye. So what do you expect?
So one thing I'm looking back here and seeing that if you get the Olympics, you want the Winter Olympics.
Well, yeah. Who the hell wants to be summertime someplace?
Because the Winter Olympics almost always make money.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's a lot of skiing and winter stuff, and so you put it in places that have skiing and winter stuff.
And it's reusable.
And it's all reusable or already in place.
Yeah.
Biggest expense you have is probably the arena for the opening and closing ceremony.
You usually don't have to buy snow.
Yeah, it depends.
You know.
I think in the Korea 2018, I think they had to ship a lot of snow.
I mean, like ice rinks, you can pretty much set up anywhere, so that's not even really an issue. The only winter sport that I think really logistically could be an issue is bobsledding and luge. Like, you can't really set those tracks. You can't build those tracks very easily.
No, it's all curved, banked concrete.
Yeah,
I mean it's
you have to have a hill that's good to put it on.
Yeah, and it's a decent length.
And ski jumping, I guess.
Yeah.
New Jersey is going to be vying for a lot of this, now that the American Dream Mall with the first indoor ski slope on the East Coast has been opened.
Ooh. Fancy.
Yes. Any mall that charges you $40 to park.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. That sucks. Well, that's okay. Our mall is going through a revitalization. And so they are trying to work on all the outside stores because there's hardly any stores on the inside. So all the outside facing stores, they're doing everything they can to try to get somebody into it. So there's now a car dealership in there.
That's temporary.
Well, they got their other building up for sale, so I'm not sure how temporary it is. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Because we have long history here of car dealers spending a couple months elsewhere and then going back. So I just thought it was one of those again.
No, there's a for sale sign in their old lot.
I mean, that's way on the other side of town.
Yeah, but it's closer to their other lots. So
if it wasn't March, I'd say, there's always the possibility of having the largest Spirit Halloween store in one of them.
Yeah. Oh, we do. Actually, well, the Spirit Halloween store took over an old, what was that place? Was it Dick's Sporting Goods? They were there most recently that I remember.
No, Dick's is still there.
No, Dick's moved to the mall, sir.
Dick's has always been at the mall.
No, they used to be at right next to Best Buy.
No. That's a different place completely.
That was Sports Authority or something.
That's Sports Authority.
Speaking of gym stuff, so I just on a temporary aside, ordered a home gym the other day. It's going to be delivered like in a couple days.
Is it the mirror one, that mirror monitor one that's like all in one? What the hell is that thing called?
So what I got is called the Marcy Home Stack 150.
That is not what I'm thinking of.
And the reason I got it was because we didn't have enough room to hang our clothes. And this is pretty much the best thing, I think, to hang clothing on. So, no, my wife really wanted a workout machine. So, of course, we needed to find one that matched what she wanted. And this was the best thing that we could find that wasn't going to cost us $1 billion. So here, I'll pull it up here so everybody can see. So this is what we ordered. So it's kind of nifty because it does the whole, so it does lots of different things. So you can do the butterfly as well as the little bench press thing on it. Does the foot thingy. It does the pull down thingy. And it's got real weights and not Bowflex breaky army thingies.
I just sent you a link. This is the one I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is that? Is it just a mirror that tells you that you're in shape? Oh, it's literally a wall. It looks like a smart wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't have that kind of money, Mike. You're poor. I mean, I know how you rich New Jerseyans
are. $49 a month.
Yeah, membership.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nope.
It's like one of those wine drinking lady bicycles.
Pay us $3,000 and then pay us $49 a month for it to actually do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the interactive subscription. For somebody on a TV screen to yell at you.
Oh no, it's actually like a mirror, so you see yourself in it. The only reason I know this is that really, really cool new ride at Disney. Someone actually used this exercise thing as another example. Basically, it's an OLED TV because you can put an OLED TV behind a mirror, and as it turns off when it isn't showing something, it can become just a full mirror unless the TV is showing something.
No, we didn't do this.
They did the same thing for Rey to appear in a section of that Rise of the Resistance ride at Star Wars Land.
No, we didn't do that. We did something cheap.
Yes, that's probably a better idea.
Kind of, I decided that if we're going to pick something that we are going to probably abandon, I didn't want to spend too much money.
Fair enough.
And the total there, it cost $3,000, and it's really, really hard to hang clothing on it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, where are you going to put your pants? this got lots of hanging space.
Yeah, you can hang the shirts off the top.
Yeah, I mean, you can even put a laundry basket in the seat. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, but no, I will. Hopefully, we'll use it more so than I think. We'll find out. That's for darn sure. But I did do one thing smart because I read the reviews on this thing, and it says in the product description 4 to 6 hours to assemble.
Oh, you paid for assembly?
Yes, I did.
Because
the comment said 4 to 6 hours. My ass takes more like 12.
Yeah. Or so what it would be is, oh, I see you still have that box over there.
So, some other guy wrote. Another guy's review wrote, "Now I really need this gym because my wife and I tried to put it together and now I'm divorced." Because don't do construction projects together unless they're really simple, because it's not a good idea. So this is going out in the gym, and then my treadmill's going out in the gym, and then I got to figure out how to hang a bigger screen TV in the garage. So, because my wife has already said the little 24-inch that I have out in the garage, not enough. So,
didn't you just get a new TV?
Yeah, it's still in the box. Yeah. It's a 60 though. It might be a little too big.
I know. I thought you were going to put it here and put that one in the gym.
No, I was going to put, it was going to go in here. This one was going to go on the other side of this wall, and then that one on the other side of the wall was going to go, I don't know, somewhere. Because it's a 48. But it's an older LCD. It weighs 1 billion tons. And this one's actually going to crane down from the ceiling on an articulating arm so that I can pull it up flat against the ceiling when it's out of the way. Because I don't have any more wall space to actually mount things to a wall.
Yeah.
So I'm utilizing the ceiling.
Yeah. TVs are darn cheap nowadays. So.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, God, where were we? Best Buy, walking around when I was looking for another monitor for work, and I want to say that we saw like a 55-inch smart TV for like $300.
Yeah, the 60-inch that I bought with the Roku built in was $300, and it's a 4K with HDR.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay. I literally told my wife I can't not buy this. I mean, same reason she gives me for purses and shoes. I mean, they're paying me to take it.
Let's see.
I have a non-smart Panasonic 1080p plasma 50-inch mounted on the other side of that wall. And I have told my wife that is being sold with the house.
Yeah.
I ain't moving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoever moves in, they can have it.
Yeah.
Right, but the price differences, it's amazing. So you can get an 86-inch LG for $18.99. And if you want another 10 inches...
That's what she
Whatever
said.
you're going to say, a lot of people would pay for those extra inches.
For another 12 inches, $59,999.99. So that seems to be the thing now. You can get up all the way to almost
the entire wall.
So you get just over 80 inches, and it's cheap. You want just a little bit more, then it starts going up to 30, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you're probably better off buying a projector.
Yeah. Well, you won't end up with the brightness or the clarity necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now you want 70 inches. That's
Actually, what you do
$500.
is you just buy a bunch of these bezel-less TVs for $300 a piece, and you put them together.
That's probably a better
Yeah.
option.
Then you run a matrix view, and then they're easy to replace when one of them goes away. They're basically disposable. So, alrighty. Other stuff. We talked a little bit about what the healthcare situation is doing. Another thing that it's doing, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but New York has blocked the first Virgin Voyages cruise ship from docking over coronavirus fears. Now, this is having a ripple effect throughout the entire travel industry, and it's the first one in the U.S. to be blocked. But there have been other cruise ships blocked from other ports because of this issue.
This whole thing was very weird because this is like the first launch of this particular ship.
Yes.
Apparently, it was not paying customers. It was like Virgin employees and press. Also, apparently, they knew that it could not go to New York before they even launched it from London. It was going to Miami the entire time, and just nobody decided to tell anybody other than the crew that was going to happen. So there were some annoyed people. Now,
yeah, 850 passengers on board sailed from Liverpool and was scheduled to make a stop in New York City for several days before heading to Florida.
Right. Now that's next to that ship, the Holland America ship, that spent like a week and a half wandering the oceans, like
where feces was running down the wall.
Wasn't that bad?
Well, there were claims that feces was overflowing and running down the wall.
But yeah, it's like they became the Flying Dutchman, going from port to port. Can we come here? No. We told you could, but we've decided nope.
I like this. One anonymous passenger told the Sun Online, "The cruise has been wonderful so far, but now it's like a nightmare because you can't stop in New York.
No, it's because they live in New York.
Okay, but the boat wasn't staying there.
They were going to get off in New York and go home.
I know, but that wasn't the way that the boat was supposed to work. It was just stopping there for a few days.
It wasn't going anywhere else. It was going from London to New York, and it was going to stay there a couple of days for the press to come and tour it. So the people who rode it to New York were going to then get off and go wherever they were going to go, like their homes. Now they're in Miami, and they don't want to be in Miami because that's not where they live. So now they have to get flights from Miami to New York. And they're like, oh, we'll give you $200. It's like, last minute airfare from Miami to New York? Good luck. For $200. Anyway.
Yo, Richard Branson, send your plane.
Yeah, really.
He's busy trying to reconstruct his island.
I read something about, I guess, Gal Gadot.
Uh-huh.
Disney is sending her traveling on a private jet now amid coronavirus fears for, I guess, all the press stuff for Wonder Woman 84.
I hadn't heard that one yet. I mean, yeah, Gal Gadot flying private due to studio's coronavirus concerns. TMZ, as well as comic book, as well as People. Oh.
Okay, so now, since we're talking comic books here, I have been waiting patiently to bring this up because I want to hear you guys postulate on this one.
Okay.
There was a big rumor this week, and I am going to pose the question to get your opinions. I am not going to interject my opinion because it should be noted that the company I work for owns one of the companies I am speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor that I heard was that DC Comics could potentially be sold to Marvel/Disney.
Ooh.
That sounds very unlikely.
That's a juicy nugget. DC Comics debunks rumors of Marvel takeover.
Yeah,
according to Screen Rant.
Okay, that came out since the last time. I was too busy debating people about coronavirus today.
That was 2 days ago. This week there was a completely unsubstantiated, wildly shared article about Marvel purchasing DC Comics. Despite the article being completely unfounded and lacking any viable sources, the rumor spread like wildfire, especially following the outing of Dan Didio at DC. Sadly, DC head publisher Jim Lee had to address the rumors at C2E2, debunking them as nonsense.
So, here's the thing about this. This would never, ever happen. Okay? If DC was owned by some private company or some other company, maybe. But DC, just like Marvel, is owned by one of the big studios. The big studios never, ever sell stories. Any character, storyline, whatever it is, once a studio owns it, they will not give it up for almost anything. Like, for example, Warner Brothers is notorious for this. They own Babylon 5. And because a couple of the people in management at WB got their nose in a tiff over that whole PTEN where they had this whole channel was put together, they refused to allow anything Babylon 5 to be done. So there would not be a Babylon 5 remake. There would not be a better copy of the Babylon 5 DVDs or a Blu-ray. Just because they own that copyright, they refuse to let anybody use it. They will not sell it to anybody. That's just the way the studios work. Disney lost rights to his original character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. It took 50 years, and John Madden I think it was John. Yeah, Al Michaels was. So one studio now had the rights for Al Michaels. Disney had the rights for Al Michaels, and Universal got John Madden and wanted Al Michaels to pair with him. That's how Disney finally got the rights to Oswald Lucky Rabbit. It took that to happen. So the idea of DC being sold to Marvel that is just crazy talk.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm not a huge comic. I mean, I like the comic book movies, but I don't follow all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that two powerhouses would a temporary collaboration on a print run or something like that. That's one thing, but definitely not being sold to each other. I mean, that would be an issue, I would think.
Yeah, so, I don't think it would be a antitrust violation, but it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. Now, Mike, you talked about before we went on the air that there was a show that was getting canceled. That was a new thing. You know, we had some new news on stuff that's getting canceled.
Almost Family, which is on Fox with Brittany Snow and Haley Osment. No. Was it No, Haley is the kid from Sixth Sense. Haley Joel
Osment
Emily.
is the kid from Sixth Sense.
Emily Osment.
Yes, Almost
and
Family.
Timothy Hutton.
Yes, Almost Family after one season is being canceled. As well as Criminal Minds after 15 seasons is getting canceled.
Well,
Hawaii 5-0 got
Hawaii
canceled.
5-0 got canceled, yes.
Yep.
That means
because
Magnum's going to get canceled soon, too.
Hawaii 5-0 is ending because the star has been physically disabled for years, and his contract is up, and he's not going to renew it. So,
which star?
The main star. I don't know his name, but I guess he hurt himself. No, the other one.
Oh, no. Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Okay.
So I guess several years ago he was hurt, and so he didn't want to renew. They thought about doing Scott Conn by himself, but I think they decided, nah, they'll just go ahead and end it. Criminal Minds, this was the last season. It was renancelled is what it's called. Now, Almost Family was basically canceled back in October. That's when it did not get a back nine order. Back nine is the original order for a series has like the first half, and then if it's doing well, then they order the other half. But they didn't order the other half. But what did happen was Timothy Hutton is now in a sex scandal, and surprise, surprise, they decided to officially cancel the show the same day. It's amazing how that happens.
Yep.
Yeah, when there's a show that you've already basically canceled, and one of the stars of the show, turns out to possibly have raped a underage teenager back in 1983, you're like, do you think we should go ahead and cancel the show? Oh, that seems like an easy answer to me.
Yeah.
All right, so I also have to point out that I was shocked when I found out that Avenue 5 got renewed for a second season.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, I don't think.
It's on HBO, and it's the sci-fi with Hugh Laurie and Josh Gad.
Oh, it's the cruise ship one.
Oh, I thought that was already pre-renewed when it was before it even showed up.
Well, I don't remember. No, because they just announced season 2 on February 13th, which I don't think it had premiered yet, or it was just premiering. But
right, that's why I thought it was premiered just when it was coming out.
I have to tell you that I'm struggling with this show. I'm finding it very difficult to stay interested. Partly because I want to flush Josh Gad out the airlock on this show. I can't stand him.
Yeah, it seems like it's a love it, hate it relationship in the reviews. People either really like it or they really hate it. And what's weird is there's so much comparison to the Orville on it.
Yeah, I haven't recorded. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen it either. I may have to pick it up. I may have to watch it on Hulu just to see.
So I have the TV Grim Reaper predictions up. Any other shows you'd like to know about?
I can't think of anything right now. 'Cause most of the shows I know have either been canceled already or they've been renewed already.
Yeah. I mean, none of my...
I would say Magnum PI is at likely renewal.
Yeah, I think it was a huge success.
I'm
sorry, I'm still pissed that they canceled Cool Kids. I like Cool Kids.
How about the 911 shows?
Let's see. I'm going to assume the regular 911 is safe. They're both at likely renewal.
Okay. And I was actually surprised that the Blacklist got a renewal for another season. That's another one that's kind of been puttering as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I really, really liked it the first couple seasons, and I just kind of got tired of it. Just like, I lost faith that they actually had any point to get to.
Oh, Duncanville that just started is likely canceled already.
I don't even, maybe they never heard that. There's a couple that I started watching that I was like, oh, I kind of like this, but then I decided, it's going to be canceled, so I guess I'll stop. So right now, predicted to be canceled are Stumptown, Tommy, Duncanville, Deputy, Prodigal
Really?
Son, Outmatched. Which one are you saying really to?
The Deputy.
Deputy. I'm actually liking that one. But...
It's because, according to TV Grim Reaper, not Prodigal Son. Prodigal Son and 911 Lone Star are more likely to be kept as the Deputy. But Fox is unlikely to keep all three.
It's probably a budget thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's a budget thing and also a type of show they are. So I guess of the three of them, 911 Lone Star and Prodigal Son will be kept, so Deputy's probably going away. But it's at borderline ratings, not just because of where it is.
And how about Last Man Standing?
Likely renewed or already renewed. I remember seeing that one.
Okay.
And NBC shows, you got Lincoln Rhyme,
Oh, yeah,
Bone Collector.
Because what's her name? Because talk about a show that's mirroring reality. What's her? The wife's running for office now. So now they can really go on political side and really.
On the show, yeah.
And yes, that is likely renewed.
Okay.
Or predicted to be renewed, I should say. And then the NBC shows that are likely canceled are Hunt for the Bone Collector, Indebted, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
I actually thought Bone Collector was only supposed to be a limited run event. I didn't think that was supposed to be a series, so...
Yeah, I thought it was... Was that based off of the movie? I don't know.
Maybe.
All right. Well, let's move on to something a bit more appetizing. Mike, you brought up this article. Burger King is testing out a new sandwich.
Yes, for the vegans and everyone. Mm-hmm. And all it is a bunch of French fries on a bun with ketchup and mayo. Or, if you like, Mayonster.
A joke for a very small clientele. I like French fry sandwiches, except they are missing one important topping.
The hamburger bun?
No.
Or the hamburger?
The hamburger, yes. No.
So, here's my question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Will they get sued by vegans? Have they learned their lesson on this one?
Oh, I don't know. Are they actually gearing this towards vegans?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Well,
it's being sold in New Zealand.
No. In New Zealand, it's called a chip Beauty?
Chip Buddy.
Chip Buddy. Okay, yeah, is selling a French fry sandwich. Oh, you're right, in New Zealand. But who knows? If it goes big there, it could be big here. Wendy's is starting to do breakfast now all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'm just
And they
saying,
got a chicken biscuit.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
I'm saying in New Zealand, it's probably less of a problem for random people to sue because their French fries have some animal fat on them.
I like how Wendy's out of the gate with their Twitter when literally anything would be better on a bun than their beef.
Yes.
I don't know who runs the Wendy's Twitter, but they're good. They're good. They got some real good ones.
So, I do have to say that this immediately reminded me of when McDonald's was doing their 4 for $4. And they had, you could get a cheeseburger, mozzarella sticks, French fries, and a drink for $4. And my response was, I could take them, put them all together, and make the McFat Cat. For those who don't know, Fat Cat is the infamous Rutgers sandwich. It has many, many varieties that essentially is an entire meal on a sub roll. My wife's response was, and die in the process? Never did get to make the McFat Cat. McDonald's canceled their mozzarella sticks.
Yep.
He probably dodged it then. Wait. Okay. All right. I thought for a second they had the wrong there in one of their Twitter ads.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the original Fat Cat was, and this is directly from Art. Here, I'm just going to send this to you because now we're going to talk about when you guys come out to Jersey. This may very well have to become a stop.
Here, okay.
The original Fat Cat.
Here, I'm going to send this first. What? What do you think they're doing?
Nice.
Picking up their order. I love it.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, pulling it up.
So you can look at this. There's actually, oh my God, they've expanded. There's 33 of them.
The original,
and you can decide which one you might want to. Now, this was originally sold at the grease trucks, which were catering trucks that parked at the end of Fraternity Row and were there all night.
I gotcha.
So this was the ultimate post-party. The idea was put everything on a bun so you could eat it all.
Yeah.
I have to say that I am a big fan of the ones that are further down, such as the Fat Buddha and the Fat ZBT is also a good one. But we will, now that they are in an actual building, we will have to take a trip.
Oh, Fat Moon looks good. Chicken fingers, bacon, egg, lettuce, tomato, French fries, mayo, and ketchup. Hey, keep the mayo. Now, is this one of those places where they get upset if you say, no, hold something off?
No.
Okay.
Why? Well,
I'm just not a huge mayo fan.
Okay, that's acceptable. Like if you order this and say no bacon.
Well, no.
You got to go.
Like if I was to get the Fat Vistardi, the gyro chicken fingers, mozzarella stick, lettuce, tomato, French fries, I don't like tzatziki sauce. I know that's blasphemy in some people's eyes, but I'm not a tzatziki fan.
I mean, I'd be tempted to go, hey, I'd like to have the gyro, hold the meat, hold the pita, just give me the sauce.
The fat fellatio. Boy, getting a lot of... All right. But yeah. Now we have sprinkled corona. This sounds bad. We sprinkled coronavirus throughout the broadcast tonight, but we do want to cover a couple of other serious concerns, along with the issue with the Virgin's cruise ship. There are some real life impacts that this can take, but it can also show the stupidity of people. All right, there was a poll done on Twitter, okay, where 38% of Americans won't drink Corona beer because they are afraid of contracting the coronavirus.
Those are the same 38% of the Americans who still think Bernie Sanders is the best candidate for president.
And the sad thing is, the Google search ranking for is coronavirus related to Corona beer has steadily gone up over the last few weeks.
Of course, now it's a joke.
Yeah,
to search for it.
But not everybody thinks it's a joke.
No.
There's a lot of dumb people in this world. And speaking of peak dumbness, you're never at more peak dumbness than during spring break. And, this health crisis could cause trouble for millions of students as they find that they can't go to spring break in Miami. They can't get drunk and pass out from alcohol, from overindulging in alcohol, or have meaningless sex on the beach, or in rooms that they don't remember how they got there. Multiple women won't expose their breasts to cell phone videos. It's a real crisis, and we need your help. So if you could just call the number on your screen today and donate 5 cents a day, that's less than the price of a cup of coffee. No, but this is music festivals and beach parties face the possibility of being axed as authorities battle to contain the virus, which has so far infected 89 people and killed 2 in the U.S. All right, now Miami is a fairly big port city, so lots of trade, and they also have an international airport, so lots of travel happens through there, and this could be a big concern for tourism there, right? Because you get thousands upon thousands of students flocking down there. Well, not only are beer and liquor sales going to go down drastically, but you got to think about the local drug trade. You got to think about, condom sales. You got to think about, pharmacies. Yeah, they nobody's talking about Ebola anymore, so change it to Ebola beer.
This is how bad the age difference is between some of my friends and the guys I play hockey with, because we were talking about, you remember how there used to be a diet product and then this disease came out that stole their name? Remember, there used to be a diet product called AIDS.
Yep.
And somebody, I think when the disease was named that, and I'm not making fun of the disease at all, but when the disease was named that, I do believe that the initial reaction at that company was the inspiration for the sliced bread commercial.
Yes.
Disaster. Mm-hmm. I believe that may have been close to the reaction.
Yeah. Here, Mike. Let's listen.
I've tried fad diets, powders, pills. Still, my weight's been up and down like a yo-yo until the AIDS plan taught me how to take off weight and help keep it off.
AIDS may taste like a candy, but AIDS contains one of the most effective appetite suppressants you can buy. And there's no stimulant in AIDS that could make you nervous.
With AIDS, I ate less, so the weight came off. To help keep it off when I sometimes want things loaded with calories, AIDS helps put me in control.
Let the AIDS plan teach you how to take off weight and help keep it off. Try peanut butter AIDS.
I truly cannot believe that commercial is still out there on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Some of the best commercials in the world are on the internet. I love watching old commercials because they're great. There's a John Wayne PSA that I wish I could find. Somebody found it a long time ago. I don't know if I can find it anymore. John Wayne, now you have to remember, this is back in the 40s and 50s, okay? He's doing a PSA for the mentally handicapped, but that is not what they were called back then. So he's standing up front stage, and behind him, there's this kid sitting on a stool and his parents, and he goes, "See that retarded boy back there?" But he says it in the voice of the Duke. So,
wow.
It's just, I mean, to hear it today, it's horrible. But if you listen to it back in the time, you go, yeah, he does seem a little odd. But you wouldn't think anything of it.
So,
yeah.
So this thing was originally called AIDS.
Yes.
And then they continued to like 88. And then they decided, oh, we've lost 50% of our original sales. Maybe we should change the name. So what did they change it to?
Syphilis. Syphilis diet candy.
No. Diet AIDS. Before that, it was called the AIDS Reducing Plan Candy, or just AIDS. And then they decided, oh, we're having trouble, so we'll call it Diet AIDS. But in England, they call it AIDS Slim. I don't think they quite understood what the problem was with the name.
Oh, no. No, I'm sure they didn't. But yeah, it's crazy. Love it. So yeah, spring break could be canceled, but we are not just here to inform you about bad news. We are here to give you some practical advice as well. So, according to Vox.com, which is where I get all my medical information from, they have a list of 5 things you should do to get prepared. All right? Number 1, wash your dirty hands. All right? Wash your hands much more than you think you need to wash them, and try not to touch your face. Number 2, you don't need to wear a face mask if you're well, but you should if you are sick. Okay? Easy enough. If you get sick, you might be out of commission for a few days or weeks. Get things you need to manage that. The last thing you want to do is go to the store, so make sure you have plenty of milk and bread and toilet paper and cleaning supplies and laundry detergent. Mike, milk and bread may have to get posted back to the top.
No.
Number 4, consider what you do if schools and daycares are closed. I say just let the little children stay at home themselves. Turn off the main gas shut-off. Turn off the main water shut-off. They'll be fine. Maybe trip the breaker. Little Johnny can be okay. You know? It's not that cold right here today. The last one. And this is the one I think we can probably help and go a little bit further on. Psychological preparation is important. You got to prepare yourself.
How are we helping with that? Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a little bit of experience with this going through my flu that kept me basically in bed for 4 days. All right? So here's how I recommend you prepare yourself psychologically. And some of it is a little bit of physical prep too. All right? This is what you need to do. You need to update your Netflix watch list. All right? You need to make sure you're caught up on downloads of PTR Radio. And you need to specifically write down all the movies that we have watched, because most of them are still available. And when you run out of movies on Netflix and Amazon and Popcorn and Crackle and Vudu and Roku and Apple TV and YouTube, and you've hit the end of the internet, which is usually about afternoon of day 2, you're going to want something else to watch. And, well, that's what we're here for. That's why we do the double feature movie review. It's so that you can know what you need to resort to when there's nothing on television. Because daytime television is horrible.
Especially with Judge Judy leaving.
Yes. So get that together. All right. definitely make sure you have a refrigerator in your room. All right. If you don't, I recommend you get a cart and some friends and just move it there. All right. I have a dorm fridge in my bedroom, luckily, fully stocked with water and soda and snacks. The problem with them is the freezers. Okay. They can't store ice cream. All right. So I suggest
that's a true statement.
I suggest dry ice. Dry ice in a cooler will keep your ice cream frozen. All right. Much needed.
That reminds me. Go ahead.
I think I saw the same article you did. So you need that. Then this might get a little personal, but if the coronavirus is anything like the flu, you might want to talk to Grandpa Eddie and see if you wear the same size Depends. All right? Because sometimes when you're feeling sick and your tumbly's a little rumbly, all right, you think, oh, I just got to, and you think that's all it's going to be. And then you do that, and suddenly you're like, oh, my, that's a bit wet. And so, a little extra protection never hurts. Okay? Take it from me. Sometimes you gamble and you lose. That's just the way that it is. All right? Keep yourself hydrated. Keep yourself entertained. Always make sure there's a laptop handy, because you're going to get bored. It's just going to happen. And when all this runs out on the morning of day 5, all right, start writing a book. Just start writing a book. That's all I can tell you. So in my mind, that's how you should mentally prepare. You should get your basically how to entertain yourself during the end of the world kit together and just be ready to bring it into action.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Now, what happened here is perfect. I don't know if you've seen this in New Jersey, but our local Sam's had a run on people buying bottled water. It was like the end of of days were upon us. It's like it's the middle of it's the end of February, and every single cart at Sam's Club was gone because everybody had a cart inside there, filling them up with water. The employees were having to go back and find more water to move up for people to grab. It's just like, do you really think that this coronavirus is going to hit and suddenly the water department's not going to have anybody to keep the water taps going?
We didn't have a run on that. What we have had a run on, and this was part of the discussion this morning, was are just any mask possible. Like Home Depot is completely out of respirators and filters and what have you. And here's the thing. One of my friends, her boyfriend is a contractor. He can't get refills for the masks that his guys wear when they're doing drywall because all of these schmucks think that that's going to protect them from coronavirus.
Yeah. Major U.S. hospital systems are burning through their supplies of specialized masks needed for a widespread epidemic. Coronavirus prompts global mask shortage.
Even the dollar store is out of their generic Purell because Purell is in demand everywhere. Meanwhile, the liquor store can't get rid of their bottles of Pink Whitney, pink lemonade flavored vodka.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that stuff will work too, folks.
Now,
I'm just saying.
I'm wondering at what point do they start saying, hey, maybe we should have everybody work from home?
Yeah, that is a question. What is the capabilities of working from home?
So the thought process, a travel advisory has been put out for our company basically eliminating all travel and telling us to tell other companies like vendors that we may meet with, hey, don't come travel. Don't visit us. Do it. They're telling us to do it all virtually. Yeah. And if you don't feel good, stay home.
Yeah.
Well, listen, not for nothing. I never feel good anymore, so not a problem. But I've also heard, I've heard other conventions and stuff being either postponed or canceled.
Yep.
I'm hearing, in the stock market.
Yep.
It's not because people are afraid of the stuff, of people getting infected. It's the factories are shutting down. I saw something.
It's an interesting thing what's going on. So there's two things in play here. So large factories, okay, you think they just have warehouses and warehouses full of inventory, sub-assemblies. And they do have some inventory of sub-assemblies, but large manufacturing lines use what's called just-in-time inventory, where basically they're getting parts almost every day. And those parts aren't so they may have 1 day worth in a warehouse, and they're shipping them to the different parts in the assembly line as they need them. That's become a common practice because then you have to hold less reserve. You have to have less storage. You have to have less cost because you're cranking products out. There are still other companies that do hold a large amount in reserve, and so far we haven't been affected because we've had this buffer, okay, both a buffer and a reducing consumption because people just aren't going out and purchasing as much because they're being told to stay at home, all right? But, and as much as we want to say, well, it's made in the USA or, whatever, it may be, but the sub-assembly parts are coming from China, okay? They're coming from the Asian market somewhere. And that Asian market has not bounced back. Some factories are happy. They're ecstatic if they can get to 30% of their productivity right now.
So,
in
this
fact,
popped up. I sent you a link. NASA and European Space Agency. These are images before and after.
Yeah.
The same region showing nitrogen dioxide emissions, which is a common, I guess,
pollutant,
smog type thing from factory work.
Yeah.
Look at the difference.
Yeah, because they have basically said this is a nationwide stay at home, it's drastically reduced. It's drastically reduced the amount of pollution that China's creating. And furthermore, it is, but at a penalty, of course, because we're not getting the sub-assembly parts. I actually heard a story about one company who had ramped back up to 30% productivity. They were really happy about that. They had millions upon millions of parts in their warehouse to go out the door, but they only had 2 truck drivers. Their delivery staff to get them to the docks to send them out wasn't available. So they had tons of inventory, but no way to get it shipped out. It's all the logistics. So it's not just the manufacturing. It's every piece along the chain that's going to be affected. And like I said, because right now we haven't seen the total effect yet, there's still more to come. In fact, several IT bloggers that I follow are saying, listen, if you want to buy technology, if you're thinking about doing an upgrade now, if it's not mandatory that you get the next generation thing, if you don't want one of the 3000, series GPUs or something like that, if you were just thinking about buying something and it's readily available now, buy it now because the shortage is coming.
Yeah.
And with that shortage is going to come a price increase. Also, with that price increase on new equipment is also going to be a price increase on used equipment. So, if you were thinking about selling something, you may want to hold off. If you were thinking about buying something, you may want to do it now before the prices jack up. And it's not just computers, it's everything. Like Mike said, masks. All right? I mean, you think, what does it take to manufacture a mask? Well, it still takes an assembly line. It still takes a delivery. It still takes shipping it across the world on a boat. It still takes dock workers. It takes all these people to get it from one side of the world to the other side of the world and deliver it to a store where you can buy it. So, yeah, we haven't seen the end of this yet. And I don't mean to paint a doom and gloom picture of this, but, look at what happened when the tsunami hit and it destroyed 30% of the hard drive manufacturing. The cost of storage for computers went up dramatically, and we didn't recover for like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening now to all industries in the Asian market. So, I mean, you can say America first and America products first and everything else, but trust me, all your parts are most likely coming from an Asian source.
Yeah. We're also now seeing a lot of industry conferences getting canceled.
Yep.
And so here's the thing. There's been some people say, "Oh, is this really a thing? Is this being made up by the media?" And I just look at it and go, Disney still has all of their parks closed in Asia. If Disney, one of the most commercial, money-hungry organizations you can think of, has their entire parks boarded up, yes, it's really a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do anything they can to make money. That's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. But still, I mean, I like I said, I had to spend this weekend making sure that a notice was on almost every website that I touch that says, hey, if you want to know what we're doing in the state, click here and go to Public Health's website. And I know that's not going to be the end of it. There were 2 press conferences or 3 or 4 actually within the last week about it. And I think we've only had a handful of cases in the state.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of missing information about this. So, it is what it is. We make fun of it a lot, but it is something to be concerned about too.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else we need to get to before we get to the double feature movie review?
Let's just get to the movie reviews.
All right, we'll get to the movie review. Then if we have time after, we'll get to emotional support animals. Mike, I know how much you love that. All right. So this week, we do a thing, or every show, we do something called the double feature movie review to catch some folks up if they're new. So the double feature movie review is we take 2 movies from Netflix or Amazon or, another streaming platform that is widely available and widely used. And we, kind of pick from the ones that they recommend that we watch based off of our previous watching history. This was all started off when I watched Cowboys versus Aliens, and suddenly the next week I had a cold, and Netflix said, hey, you may want to watch Cowboys versus Dinosaurs. So that's kind of how this goes. We watch what Netflix recommends to us, and what they say, also might be related to the things that we watch. We put them into a list with the random number generator, pick them for us every show, and then we watch them and we review them, and we tell you whether something's worth watching or not. This week, the 2 shows we have to watch are State Park and Dead Heat. So, Dead Heat is a zombie movie-ish, and State Park is your classic 80s boob comedy movie. So, Mike, which one would you like to start with?
Well, let's start with Dead Heat. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Let's see here. Actually, I'll go with that one. No, I'll go with that one again. All right. I'm sorry, which one did you say? I was in the middle of something.
Dead Heat.
Dead Heat. All right. Dead Heat. So Dead Heat is kind of a buddy cop movie, ish, with a little bit of a sci-fi twist, where 2 officers, want to resolve a series of jewelry heists, and in the process, they end up getting shot, or one of them ends up getting killed and then brought back to life. And then there's a question of, okay, well, what's really going on here? Why are they resurrecting people? Blah, blah, blah. And so it's a zombie movie, but it's a weird zombie movie. So, the best thing I can tell you is if you're looking for names in this movie, you're going to be hard-pressed because there's a couple, like Vincent, whatever his name is.
Price.
Yeah, Vincent Price is in this for a very short time. And then the only other real name that you're going to know is Treat Williams, or I'm sorry, Joe Piscopo, and you might know Treat Williams too. But those are really the only ones.
Maybe Robert Picardo.
Yeah, Robert Picardo, but he's in there for like what, all of 5 seconds. So, you know, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot in here for content. I mean, this thing is a stripped down, cheesy sci-fi action film from the 80s that and I have to imagine it was a direct to VHS because that's what they were back in the days. This one might have even been a straight to beta, for all I can tell. So this thing, it was so bad I watched it at work. That's how bad it was, folks. So I'm gonna give it a verp. It was that unappealing to me.
Mike's giving it a yawn.
Mike's giving it a yawn. All right, Colin.
Actually, I'm trying to figure out where. Yeah, that's a good
word. Where does yawn line up? That's what you're trying to figure out?
Yeah, I would give it a yawn. But so this movie is very much of its era. It's like you're watching the credits and you're like, yep, those are 80s credits. That cheap 80s font that probably they had like that one machine that did that, and so nobody had to draw anything. Yeah. So Joe Piscopo as a cop, like, why? Is the least cop-like person you can think of. Treat Williams, actually, that's probably the correct actor for that particular role he's in. That's what he does. Oh yeah, and the guy who played the Night Stalker, he's also in it. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. So there's a couple people you might know in this movie, and you're like wondering, why did they make this movie? It's like the entire budget went into to one set. So here's what you need to know about this movie. Okay, if you ever wondered what zombie cooked ducks would be like, or an entire cow that has been, butchered already, turned into a zombie, this movie can answer that question for you. And if you have that question, maybe you should find someone to talk to. Maybe your hand. I don't know. This movie is not terrible. It's a good 80s lark movie. If you have the coronavirus and you're stuck in your home and you're looking for stuff to do, this is a perfectly serviceable thing to do. You can watch this movie. There you go.
All right, Mike.
All right. Full disclosure. I think I saw this movie once before when I was a kid.
Oh, sorry.
So, I don't need quotes on that, bro. Mike the Ape Man. That's it. Anyway. So, as I'm watching this, I'm wondering if this was before or after Joe Piscopo did his whole cybergenics, GNC, weightlifting comedian thing. Now, I'm no scientist.
Really?
But I'm pretty sure if you sucked all the air out of a room, so it was 0% air pressure, a.k.a. a vacuum, wouldn't Treat Williams have popped like a balloon? I'm just wondering.
No.
Well, he probably would have died when the air pressure was a lot higher than 0. But anyway, Vincent Price. Was this his last role? Nope, but it wasn't far from it. Now we get Professor Toru Tanaka, famous for chasing Pee Wee Herman through Francis's house, among other things. Famous for playing Sub-Zero in
Mortal
The
Kombat.
Running Man.
Oh, okay.
And you got the dude that took care of Gizmo the Mogwai who happens to own the zombie duck, chicken, beef, fish market. This movie is slowly turning into a culture phenomenon. As Colin pointed out, you had Robert Picardo who, for a brief moment. You had Darren McGavin, who was not only Kolchak the Night Stalker, he was the old man from A Christmas Story.
Yes.
The daughter who was melting. That scene was just far too frickin' disgusting for a Treat Williams movie, I have to say. But the effects of the skull talking was pretty awesome for the 80s. Treat Williams on a motorcycle at this point, where he's basically mummified, looks a heck of a lot like Michael Myers. Now you're gonna have to go back and look, and you can't unsee that. I thought for sure they were bringing old man body doctor back just to kill him again, not what they did. I have to admit the ending was cute. The two buddies talking as they're walking into a bright, and it fades to white instead of most movies fading to black. So I did give this a smile. All right. Was it stupid? Yes. Was it even close to having any good cinematic value? No. Is there any part of this that was even close to being based in reality? Absolutely not. But it was fun. And that's all you can ask for from a movie like this.
Oh, all right.
So to answer your question, you can tolerate down to about 47%.
Okay.
But you'll get pulmonary and cerebral edema at about 35%.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if they just opened up the door that they appeared to do, it didn't look like it went through any regularization or anything, then wouldn't he have basically had the bends?
No.
But wouldn't there have been a rush of air into the...
Oh, it'd definitely be bad if you'd open it up. I mean, that would be... You might pop then.
Yeah.
If you could, instantly... But no, bends would not be an issue.
Okay.
Bends is because of nitrogen being forced into your body because of the high pressure. So you would not have nitrogen being forced by reducing the pressure.
I thought that you get the bends, though, when you come up from diving too quickly.
Yes, but that's high pressure.
Okay.
Not
yeah,
low
I get what you're saying. All right. Next up, the 1988 film State Park, the rated R comedy. Okay. Let me see here.
You should definitely go first on this. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I'm sure we're going to have polar opposite opinions about this.
Freaking smiling already about this movie.
All right, so first of all, let me preface this by saying this was basically a date night movie. My wife and I watched this movie together because we decided it could, one, she doesn't like zombie movies, and two, it couldn't be worse than Police Academy Mission to Moscow. So we start watching this movie and start actually laughing out loud at this movie. That is big. I can never get her to laugh at a movie, let alone one that I picked out. So this movie is, pretty much summed up. A businessman plans to dump toxic waste on a city park. Actually, it's a state park. But it doesn't go according to plan. It's a little bit more involved than that. So the businessman who runs a pesticide company is buying federal or state park land to create his, pesticide company. And of course, it's kind of like, he also owns everything. He owns like the catering company. He owns the blah, blah, blah. And he's like everything, right? Like he owns a food prep company that sells tomato sauce. All these things. Now, mixed with this, story of bad guy taking over land and forcing everybody who's the little small town owners out. All right. Which the small town owner in this case owns the snack bar and some adjacent land. Jason Wilder plays Truckee, and Christopher Bolton plays Trailer. Also, in the midst of this, you get a social class commentary about these three, girls from high society, even though one of them's dad's just declared bankruptcy, who go wild during spring break. Okay? So one of them turns into a giant hoa, and one of them who hates heavy metalers falls in love, of course, with the heavy metal dude. And the other one, well, of course, she falls in love with Truckee, the guy who's trying to save his land. All amongst this, we end up with the bear, who is, Willy Wonka, the bear who is just somebody in a bear costume going and causing trouble for this pesticide company, trying to get proof that they're dumping toxic waste. Turns out, hey, it's Truckee. Sorry if I ruined it for you, but you were going to find it out within the first 30 minutes anyway. Now, along this, it's an 80s movie, which is one of the reasons why I love it. I love 80s movies. I love 80s boob comedies. There's some pretty nice sets in this show. I did get a couple of questions asked to me during this movie, like, whose boobs are those? And I said, I don't know. They're just a random couple in the three girls tent. What is the deal with the woman who is skinny dipping? I don't know. Doesn't matter. What's the deal with the guy skinny dipping and the female ranger perving on him? I don't know. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of sub things going on here. But if you liked Mannequin, okay, then you'll like this movie. If you liked Porky's, or if you liked I don't know, that genre of movie. If you enjoyed that genre of movie, this movie is for you. Now, I'm sure people think that I'm going to give this a shnikes. Okay, I'm sure there's one person who thinks I'm going to give this a shnikes, and I'm not. All right, it doesn't deserve a shnikes because there's not enough boobs for a boob movie, for an 80s boob movie. All right, there just ain't enough. All right, they could have sprinkled them through a little bit more liberally, and then Shnikes Land it would have been. They would have renamed the whole park Shnikey World. All right, but I will give this an S-eating grin. All right, which is 0.1 less than a Shnikes.
Wait. Hold that thought, because I may introduce a factoid that may... Go ahead, Colin.
All right, Colin.
Okay. So this movie starts, and I'm going, wow. That girl there has the most annoying voice I've ever heard. And then I look it up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh, okay. So she's the one that's going to be showing her boobs, because she's done Playboy. So that's why she's in this movie. She's the one from Playboy that they went and got so that they could have her take her top off a lot. I understand. Okay. Doesn't matter that her voice could literally have been used in the other movie to bring the zombies to life. Or kill them, I guess. Yes, in the room that they kill people with, they could have used her voice there. That would have worked as well. Most of this movie, a good 95% of this movie is completely forgettable, standard 80s, this genre crap. It's almost maddening that there is a piece of this movie that was actually good. And that actually makes the rest of the movie worse, I think, because they had the seed of an interesting story. And that's the story of a heavy metal rocker who's creeped out by old people. And then it turns out that the old people are Ted Nugent's grandparents and know more about rocking out than he does. That's an interesting storyline. They could have made a much better movie. They got Ted Nugent in this thing. I mean, I don't really like Ted Nugent. I couldn't name any song that Ted Nugent was a part of. But the fact that they got Ted Nugent and they had an interesting storyline for Ted Nugent tells me, man, they could have made a much better movie out of this. I did want to point out that this movie also was called Heavy Metal Summer Camp, which, if they'd used that title and actually done it with the whole heavy metal storyline, it would have been a better movie. Also had some taglines. No one will be admitted after the bear steals the bulldozer. There's not that much of the movie left after that, but okay. No one will be admitted once this movie is done. Great idea. Yeah, no, this movie is nowhere close, Shaggy. It is not. It's definitely not puke. It's definitely not meh. It's somewhere in between. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a sneeze.
And where does that lie? We've never called a sneeze before.
I don't know. That there was somewhere below meh.
Somewhere below meh.
But not
a verb even.
It's somewhat above a verb. I don't know.
Okay. I don't have a clue.
I don't know.
All right, Mike, it's you.
All right. Listen. In the very beginning, based on the type of movies we've seen lately, a.k.a. the Velocipaster, I was wondering, are we hearing a talking bear? Like, are they trying to actually pawn this off at the very beginning as a real bear? Or is this some guy in a costume? Suddenly I'm intrigued. It was very interesting to hear some of the earlier works of Yellow, which is the band that went on to do the famous song in Ferris Bueller. The two heavy metal dudes. Where's the rest of this band that's going to blow the roof off the Hollywood Bowl? The blonde chick driving, I'm wondering if it's Bernadette's mom from Big Bang Theory, because that voice, we get about 15 minutes in, and there is the token black guy with the Jerry curl, as required in every single 80s movie ever made. Payphone. And can we just stop and talk a minute about how this movie is going down the meatballs route with the race and the competition? Thank God it is a guy in a bear suit. She shot him with a water gun. He pushed her into the lake. Right now, there are thousands of feminists going absolutely ballistic, calling for a boycott of this movie. Bernadette's mom hooks up with the bird geek. Side note, and this is actually kind of a little further than what Colin said. Yes, the blonde chick that with the annoying voice did go on to be in Playboy. She also went on to be in some Skinamax movies. That was actually my factoid that thought might make up the ground for Shaggy's rating. This is now turning into a very thinly veiled Porky's/Meatballs mashup. And then Ted Nugent shows up. The Nuge. 20 minutes left. And did I miss the damn competition? Did I zone out and miss it? Did it happen? Nope, here it comes. Okay. The kayak shots of them going over the rapids. Awesome. Academy Award nominated special effects right there. Sitting on a lawn chair with the upward angle and just throwing water at them. Awesome. Now we know why they had to have the water gun, because that's how they got the splashes. All right, look, this is it. Was getting a smirk. It was bad. But it was like Saturday matinee bad, which makes it nostalgically good. And I actually feel bad that it didn't catch up earlier that the brothers were named Truckee and Trailer. I am so disappointed in myself that I did not pick up on that until Shaggy said the names.
Now, okay.
See,
We need to discuss the theme song.
well, hold on one second though.
Yeah.
I want to just, I had this discussion at work today. I'm like, this movie brought me back to my childhood because if my dad was home, okay, he was in charge of the remote, and my dad's movie choices were DC Cab, Meatballs, Up the Creek, Hot Dog the Movie, Ski Patrol. It was all these Porkies. Revenge of the Nerds. It was all these movies. And I actually asked my wife, I'm like, how have I never seen this? I should have seen this. Dad would like this. So now I have to have him watch it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is this movie is very late.
It is late in the 80s. It should have been like
very late in the
83 or
80s.
84.
I mean, Meatballs was 79. This was 88. Now, Mike referenced Yellow, whatever it was, for Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Doing the OES song.
It really wasn't the same. It sounded the same, but this
was
actually done.
This was a complete rip-off of that song. That was
yeah.
the point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was 3 years after Ferris Bueller. So there's a theme song for this movie, which is kind of like the Oh Yeah song in its beat, but it has someone like burping the word state park.
State Park.
I mean, what Shaggy just did is better.
Well, it was supposed to be a play on like the in between part of so beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. By the way, Up the Creek was 84, so it was 4 years before this movie. And, definitely get some Up the Creek vibes. Which, if you haven't watched Up the Creek, great movie.
Yeah. It's like, I'll get the name, because so the theme song is like Curtis Armstrong burping State Park in a song. That's what it sounds like. Curtis Armstrong was Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. 4 years before this movie.
So yeah, definitely after its time, but takes me back. Takes me back to the good old days. Me being like 6 or 8, going, "Hey Dad, let's watch a movie."
Yeah, I was at least when this movie came out. I was probably 10 at the time.
I was 11.
I was 11 later that year, but at the point this came out of the year, I was 10.
What movie when did this come out?
88.
I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, this should have been prime for you then. I mean, like I said, I was exposed to this kind of stuff way earlier. Way earlier.
Oh, this stuff was always on USA, so.
Oh, no. You mean USA Up All Night. That's what you mean to say. Because it wasn't on USA during the day. It was only on Up All Night. Mike, you remember that at all?
Oh, God. Well, Rhonda Shear, yep.
Yes. Oh. All right,
when MTV used to have their Friday night concerts.
Yeah.
I actually remember it more before her. Was it before her where it was, the hot guy.
Buster Poindexter?
Poindexter?
Didn't he do that?
He did Up All Night.
No. It was Godfrey. It was Godfrey.
Oh, Up All Night. You're right, though. It ran from 89 to 98.
Okay.
And Gilbert Godfrey was on it with Rhonda Shear. They did it together for a short time.
I just remember when it was just him, actually.
Gilbert Godfrey, Caroline Schlitt, and Rhonda Shear were them. The good old days. These kids today, they don't know what good entertainment is.
Oh, I was yesterday. I was watching McHale's Navy.
Which one? The original or
the original McHale's
with Tom
Navy
Arnold?
TV show?
Oh, okay.
No, not Tom Arnold with.
No, Tom Arnold.
No.
Yeah, Tom Arnold. Good one. Tom Arnold. I like the one with Tom Arnold. It's got a cameo.
No.
By the original McHale.
The original one.
So
No. So I was trying to watch it, and Griffin was there, and Griffin left, and he said, and he pointed at the cat and said, "The cat has more color than that has."
Oh, I wonder if it was in.
He can't take black and white television.
Up All Night did play State Park. They have a complete listing of all the shows that Up All Night played during their time period, and State Park is in it.
nice.
Oh, I'm going to have to use this as a source list for more movies we should watch.
Oh, fracking fractal.
I'll have to see if I can find some of these.
And sadly, I was just going to say that we need to start bumping up our list because we're only at 22 now.
Yeah, but now he's going to fill it up with Up All Night stuff.
Excuse
Now we're
me,
screwed.
but The Princess Bride was played on Up All Night. Not that I would add that to our list. So was Private Benjamin and Psycho 2, 3, and 4. Puppet Master 2, 3, 4 in the original. You know, Rambo First Blood Part 2 was on Up All Night.
Okay,
American Gigolo.
All right. Point made.
Fine film institution, Up All Night.
It wasn't always softcore porn. Okay.
No, but sometimes it definitely was. So, all right. So we got to do. Got to pick movies for next time. So we're 1 to what?
22.
22. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting down there. Number 10.
What the hell is this crap?
Oh, come on.
Super Detention on Amazon. This has got to be a direct ripoff of Sky High.
Now, it even says in the description, underfunded Sky High. I mean, our description, not the...
Oh, yeah. So to make sure no hiccups arise during the annual visit from their Academy's namesake, Kalis. Oh, boy, that sounds like a Superman person. 5 superhero misfits are hauled off to detention. When the assembly turns from excitement into chaos, these misfits are the only ones that can stop corrupt forces from draining all the students of their powers. Will they be able to put aside their differences and come up with a plan? This is literally the last segment of the show.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like it.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not something that was meant to be the pilot of a TV show.
I'm sure it probably was. But it's from 2017, so at least it'll be decent. It's 1.5 hours of what's pictured above.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Mike. 18.
Apparently it's one you've seen, Shaggy.
One I've seen? Oh, I love that.
So it's one I've seen too, many times.
Uh-oh. What
In
one
fact,
is it?
I kind of protested this being on the list. Hiding Out.
Oh, I didn't know if you'd seen it or not. So, Colin, have you seen it?
I have no idea.
Okay. I would find it difficult if you haven't seen it. All right, we'll do a different one.
Well, I'll leave it up to Colin.
Colin?
No. Let's go on.
21. By the way, if you haven't seen Hiding Out, John Cryer movie. Good movie.
That sure sounds like a good pairing with the other movie.
What, 21 does?
Oh, dear sweet God. It's a Corey Haim movie, Demolition U.
Oh.
And Amy Dolan's. What?
Demolition University? Is that what it is? Oh.
Corey Haim in a toy soldiers type movie. Because that always goes well.
Lenny Slater, played by Corey Haim, is in hot water with everybody at his school, Ridgefield University, and the one girl who wants to take him to the homecoming dance, Jenny, wants nothing to do with him. When a field trip to the power plant turns into a terrorist takeover and his peers are taking hostages, up to Lenny to be the hero and save the day. Oh, this is going to be great. This is awesome. I love this. This is going to be the best Monday night ever.
At least it's themed. I like it when the two have something to do with each other.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
It helps,
Yeah,
come
they
up with
both
something to
suck.
say.
Yeah, so
Well, that's the same for all of them. Mike.
I'm going
That
to
is
watch.
not true. There have been shnikes all throughout this.
I'm going to watch this. Oh, look, I can watch
all terrible movies, just like
watch,
The Cobbler.
I can watch Dream a Little Dream with it.
Problem is, we all disagree. We have never had a Three Schneike movie, people.
That's true, because some of us have taste. So, that's just kind of the way things are. We've had plenty of two Schneikes, but we can't get one person on board.
Okay, listen, we've also had movies where we've had 2 kill it with fires. We've never had a 3 kill it with fire either.
No. But it takes something special to get a kill it with fire, though. So, all right.
Or real comedy value of making it kill with fire.
Oh, we could do Demolition High with Corey Haim and Alan Thicke. I got to add that. I'll add that one to the list because we could do a whole demolition educational series. See right there.
Yeah, I know. I see this.
Alan Thicke.
What is that running red one?
I don't know.
Are you gonna go ahead and try it? We'll do Demolition High and then Demolition Man.
No.
Demolition Man was a real movie.
No, I think that's probably gonna take care of.
Wasn't there a Demolition Man remake?
There was a Running Man remake. No, wasn't there a Running Man remake?
What?
There was a Total Recall remake. I thought there was
not a Running Man remake.
Are you sure? I could have swore there was, or maybe it was planned. I don't know. Running Man remake in the works, but that's from a while ago. From October 2019. Running Man 2016. Let's see here if this is... okay, well, that's a Chinese game show movie. So that's not it.
Well, that was... Yeah, but that's what... So, wait. Are you telling me that's the anti-Ring? That the Chinese remade a movie that an Americans made first?
I guess. It is... evidently, it is slated for a remake.
Lord.
And Schwarzenegger will be involved.
He'll probably play the host.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. It is...
that time.
Yes, it is. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. As always, we appreciate every single one of you chiming in with your texts, with your tweets, with your Twitch, with your fabuths. We couldn't do this show without people like you. Well, we could, but it'd basically be what we did a year ago. So we appreciate you all tuning in and, bumping up the numbers and spreading the word about the show and getting other people to listen. It's much more fun when we get some interaction like we got tonight from a live new person. So thank you very much, Nate, for tuning in. And, we go live every 2 weeks, and we're going to be back in another 2 weeks. So we'll be back on the 16th. That's going to be our next live show. So make sure that you tune in then for more updates as needed on the health crisis in the U.S., but mostly funny news and stories and updates from us.
See you in 2 weeks if we're all still alive.
Yes. And we'll maybe talk about a couple of movies and some things going on. And whatever's on your mind, we'll talk about. So with that said, folks, I don't have anything coming up right now. Not until May do I have anything coming up. Oh, no, I've got something coming up in the middle of April. But we'll talk about that on the next show. So with that said, folks, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.